how's everyone doing? I want to do a quick video on what I do for when I start up my printers first thing in the morning. I just walked into the shop and I wanted to get this on film so I could show everybody. The printer's not even on yet, if you can see that from there. Alright, so before I even do that, this should go for pretty much whatever printer. If you're using cartridges or if you're using a sys, like so. Alright, this is what you need to do when you before you even turn the printer on. Alright, now there's a lot of different ways that people say how to do this, and everybody has their own method. I'm telling you my method because, knock on wood, I don't hardly have any problems with my printers because I do this stuff religiously to reduce on problems, okay, to keep the problems down, like ink separation. Someone told me the other day that they do it every 3 days. That's ridiculous. The ink will separate fairly quickly. Why wait 3 days? It literally takes, not even a minute. On this one, I remove the cartridges. I take all the cartridges out. Don't be lazy and just take the white cartridges out. Do them all. They say that this ink doesn't separate, but you're already here. Does it? It's not gonna kill you. Don't shake it like that. That's wrong because you get a lot of air bubbles in it. All right. So now that one's gonna be a problem for me. But just take the cartridge and flip it up like this just a few times. All right. That's all it takes. Pull 2 out at once. I'm just setting it in there. Now this has only been sitting for about 12 hours. But make sure you reseat the cartridges good. This cartridge here has cleaning solution in it because this printer can switch back and forth between matte black and photo black when it was a regular photo printer. So you want to keep something in there. This doesn't get used, but you want to keep something in there just so it's not dry. All right. And then once you do that, turn the printer on. It's going to take a minute for it to start up. It goes through its little cycle. I usually will pull the maintenance tank also to check to see what it looks like. Now with the sys system, it's going to be a little bit different depending on how long you have it sitting for. You can do it multiple different ways, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Once it's done and the screen comes up, now this is for this particular printer, but this applies to all printers. Okay, this one I can run a cleaning cycle right here from the screen, and I do that first thing. Now if you have like a 1400, a 1900, a 2880, something that doesn't have a screen like this printer over here, you would go over to your computer and do the cleaning cycle. All right, that's right after you turn it on, before you start printing it, because I guarantee you, if you try to print, the first print is going to come out, half of it's going to be missing the white, guaranteed. All right, so just run a cleaning cycle. I would recommend that you either have some kind of external tank hooked up to your printer, or you have chipless firmware, or a chip resetter for your maintenance tank, because that's unavoidably going to get full. All right. This printer has a soda bottle hooked up to it, like the printer potty deal. I put a hose on the connection because it has an ink pad. It doesn't have an actual tank. There's an ink pad that the ink will dump into inside the printer, and every once in a while it will tell me that I need to reset that. But that ink pad gets full because that ink has nowhere to go, so it just keeps filling it up. And if you touch that pad that is underneath the print head, it's like saturated with ink, and it's nasty. So this thing takes about 10 minutes to do the cleaning cycle, so that's gonna run. In the meantime, we're going to talk about, let's see here. Let me put this camera over here. We'll talk about the sys system and then having a second set of cartridges, the importance of it. All right, this thing's leaking all over the place. So if you have a sys, constant ink supply system, like I do on that 1900 over there, before you turn the printer on, just grab this thing and just kind of lightly shake it back and forth. I don't really want to twist it because it has vents in the top here, and I don't want the ink to get in there and dry inside those vents, and then it'll clog those vents up. So just kind of, shake it back and forth. Don't do it really hard. And then with the cartridges, depending on how long it's sitting, this is totally up to you, but if when I leave for the weekend and I come back, I'll have my cartridges out of the printer completely, okay? And if I'm going to go for the weekend, if I'm going to be gone for 2 days, then I remove the cartridges altogether. Every printer, all right? Every printer that's got DTF ink, install a set of cartridges that has cleaning solution, okay? That, in my opinion, is a must, all right? If you want to reduce problems, you do what you can to prevent those problems, all right? If you want to be lazy and don't want to do this stuff, DTF printing is not for you. I'm going to tell you that right now, because you're just going to waste money on a printer and you're going to have nothing but problems. You're going to be all up in the groups asking people, why is it doing this? Why is it doing that? And 9 times out of 10, people don't do regular maintenance. Now, the maintenance isn't hard for me because I know how to do it, all right? Some people get really scared of it because, there's not really a lot of steps in it. What you see me do right there is what I do every morning. And that's pretty much all you need to do in the morning. Now, when I go to lunch and I leave for an hour, if I come back and send a print right away, about 1/4 of the print will be missing white ink. It dries up that fast, all right? And that's no exaggeration. It's literally like an hour and the white ink starts to get dried up. So I'll usually run a quick print head cleaning. Like right now, it's doing a heavy print head cleaning. That printer has 2 different cycles. So in the morning, I run the heavy print head cleaning. And then in the afternoon, when I come back from lunch, or if it's been sitting for a while, I'll run just the regular print head cleaning, which is much quicker. All right. So not to get too far off the track, but make sure you have a second set of cartridges, no matter what you have, with cleaning solution. That is a must. All right. A bottle of cleaning solution. They have smaller bottles than this, but I highly recommend getting cleaning solution. I've heard people use Windex, but I've also heard that will delaminate a print head. I haven't proved that. I don't use Windex because I have cleaning solution. This stuff's about $30, but it goes a long way. This is a liter bottle. I know they sell it in different bottles. I got mine from Vibrant Vibes Inc. You can, I'll leave a link down in the description below, and you can get it from there if you'd like. A lot of places have it, but I recommend going there because I get all my supplies there. They're good people over there. So fill up a second set of cartridges with cleaning solution. I use a huge syringe. It's a 60 milliliter syringe because all these cartridges have the same. All right, so you're gonna put these in if you're gonna go away for a period of time, and you're gonna run a couple print head cleanings to make sure you flush out the ink from the head. All right. That's important because that ink will dry in there and you'll have a bad day trying to clean that out if you're even able to get it out of there. All right. All ink manufacturers are different. Some claim that they don't clog, which is BS in my opinion, because they all will over time. They don't have any new formulas out yet. Going back to this guy. So what I do is if I'm gone for the weekend, after I shake the tank system, I pull these cartridges are already out, right? Now this applies for the L1800 also, which has dampers instead of cartridges, which is pretty much like a cartridge, all right? But you're gonna wanna take this, turn it upside down, get your syringe, pull the needle off of it, all right? That just basically will twist and come off. There's no threads on it. It's a pressure fit. Pull it off like that. And then on the bottom of the cartridge, the hole that goes into the printer. This doesn't apply to the XP15000 because they have a weird cartridge where it's a big gaping hole there with a sponge. So this is pretty much just this type of printer. That you're going to want to do this only with a sys system, all right? Because we need to get the ink out of this hose here and out of this cartridge here, all right? Because it's just a small little. Doesn't hold much ink in there. It doesn't hold much here, so this is pretty quick. Put this in the hole. You got to kind of twist it in there. You don't want to it's a hard fit, but it goes in there. And then pull back. You're going to want to move this a little bit until you start to get, till it starts to bring the ink out. This set has been sitting a while, so this might be clogged. Let's try the different one here. Let's try this one here. Yeah, so there it goes. So you're going to tilt it a little bit, and then it'll start to fill with ink. Don't let this go because you're going to shove all that stuff right back in there. Okay, so pull it out while you're holding the plunger so it doesn't, whatever force is left in there, it doesn't push it back in. And then wherever you pulled it out of, that was the second cartridge, pull the cap and just push it back into here. Don't throw it out because the ink that's in here is, already mixed the way it should be with whatever chemicals that are inside the ink that separates. So you want to do that a few times. Use your syringe that you got when you got your cartridges originally. If you didn't, you can go down to the pharmacy and pick up regular syringes. These are 10 milliliter syringes. All right, see that one's full. Just push it back in there. Don't do it hard because you're gonna make a mess. And then do it one more time. Now like I said, you don't have to do this, but that's up to you. That's taking a gamble in my opinion. All right, this is what it takes to own a DTF printer. You gotta maintain it. Especially with the sys system because these hoses, the ink will separate in there, and you can flush it out. You definitely can do that, but you're wasting all that ink. So that's up to you. If you just want to, leave it in there and then do print head cleanings and flush all the ink out of the hoses, which is totally fine, but it's a waste of ink, and this stuff is not cheap. All right, especially the white. The white is more expensive than CMYK. So you can do it either way you want. This is the way that I do it. It's not because I'm cheap, it's just because I go the extra step and do what needs to be done. Then also on the bottom of the cartridge, you want to make sure you clean up any dried up gunk that's on there before you shove it back into the printer, because you'll get little buildup around here. And you can either use a Q-tip or use one of these cleaning swabs, put it in your cleaning solution, just get it wet, and then just run it around in here. All right, you just want to clean that up. Like, see, this one has white residue here. I don't have any cleaning solution on here because I'm just using this for an example real quick. But you want to make sure that you clean up all that stuff that's dried up around there. Same thing inside where the print head goes. There's going to be, dried up ink around the nozzle where these plug into. So you're going to want to make sure you clean all of that. Even for this printer here with these squirt gun looking cartridges, those cartridges are expensive. You can get smaller size cartridges to put in there. You can see that there's cleaning. No, you can't. Now you can. There's cleaning solution in here. All right, you don't have to fill them all the way up with cleaning solution. Fill them halfway. And then when you leave for longer than a day, put these cleaning cartridges in the printer and then run a few print head cleanings, because you want to get the ink out of the lines that are inside the printer and then the ink out of the print head, which is the most important thing, because it will dry up in there. It'll dry up in there and it'll plug the head. All right. It may not completely plug it, but over time it's gonna dry up little by little by little, and then eventually the hole is gonna close up. All right. Excuse me. So I can't stress that enough. A lot of people, when they first get a printer, they'll just put the cartridges in there with the ink, and then they'll start doing print head cleaning after print head cleaning after print head cleaning to get this ink in there and push out the pigment ink, which I did also in the beginning. But if you have the cleaning cartridges and you have the solution, flush those out, because where these white cartridges are, this used to be light black and light black, which is gray basically. So that's going to be mixing in with your white. All right. And then the white over here on this side was light cayenne or cyan, however you want to say it. And then this was light magenta. So whatever little bit of residue that's in there, it's going to tint the white. And then pigment ink also dries up inside of a print head. That's why they even have print head cleanings. So if you flush it out with cleaning solution, you're going to open up those print heads, and you're going to get the best print performance that you can possibly get as long as you clean the head. Clean it with what is meant to be used, cleaning solution. Like I said, if you use Windex, I'm not even say I would recommend that in a pinch, because what I heard is it will delaminate a print head. Whatever the truth is behind that, I don't know. Use what's made for it, all right? Use cleaning solution. Get cleaning solution wherever you get it from. Just get some. Get a second set of cartridges. That's important. I mean, that I can't stress that enough. A lot of people don't do that. Yes, it's more money. It's not really a hassle to pop out the cartridges and pull a couple print head cleanings. That's not a big deal, but in my opinion, this is a must. This is the way that it should be done, because that's the way that's gonna prevent the most problems. If you have those lines clean and you have that head clean, because the number one problem is the ink clogs, and that's what we're trying to prevent. All right. And the ink separation. That's the whole reason why we pull the cartridges out in the morning and we just kind of give them a little turn to make sure that the ink stays well mixed. Now, there is printers out there that have a WIS, which is a white ink circulation system, but those systems are designed to keep the ink moving inside the tank. All right. And that some of them have them hooked up directly to the head, so it actually gets the stuff in the dampener also. But even with that system, you're still going to have to run a print head cleaning. You don't have to shake the ink like you do on these that don't have it, but I mean, use your judgment on that. Those printers that have that are usually set up like that, not from the factory, but whoever the builder is that built it. So they should have specific directions on how to use that system. But this is, like I said, this is my opinion. This is my method. This is how I do it. A lot of people have other opinions. To me, this is the best way, and this is the only way, because this is going to be the way that reduces your problems. And that's what the maintenance is for, is preventative maintenance to reduce those problems, so you don't have issues. If you have any questions, you can drop them in the comments below, or you can find me in a couple different groups on Facebook. I'll leave links in the bottom there. But yeah, that's it really. This goes for pretty much every DTF printer. The XP 15000 is a little different. I don't know how you can suck out the ink from if you're running a sys. I don't know how you can clean the ink out here, so you might just be forced to do print head cleanings on that. But definitely get a second set of cartridges that has cleaning solution. All right, I'm trying to make sure that I covered everything and I didn't forget. I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and we'll see you later.